and welcome to another cup of coffee with me, Sandy. Over the years, I have met and worked with many big American stars, singers, Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire, Rosemary Clooney, Slim Whitman, Frankie Lane, Dolly Parton, and the list is endless. But this is the very first time that I have the privilege and pleasure of meeting an international Italian rock star. And he is my guest today, and I am going to introduce you to him. He is waiting for me in the wings, and his name is Bernardo Lanzetti. And Bernardo, are you there? Hello, Bernardo. How are you? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear and see you. Can
Hello and
you?
welcome. What a lovely
Hello.
background you've got. Absolutely
Okay.
beautiful. How are you and your very, very beautiful wife, Anne-Marie?
Well, we're doing well in spite of everything, like
Good.
COVID and everything else.
I'm
But we're doing fine. Thank you.
very pleased to have found you, even though you're not in Spain at the moment. But with this new communication, we can find people everywhere in the world. And the way that I have found
Right.
you is via a very good friend, a mutual friend called Simona from Ricci Tours. And she introduced me to you. And I've never spoken with an Italian rock star before. So for me, this is my first.
Well, I was very impressed by your curricula, how to say, what you've done in the past.
What
I
I've
was
done in
almost shocked. If
what
I
I've done
remember
in
well,
my life.
by Dolly Parton, is that,
Yes.
Yeah,
She
okay.
was a
So
time.
say, okay, I'll do it. After that, I'll say, I'll do it.
Thank you, Dolly. You made it for me. Well, I know that you were born in Italy, but my first question, because I'm fascinated, how did you learn to speak English? Where did you learn to speak English?
Okay, well, first of all, my mother was Polish. So since when I was a little kid, I learned a different language. Okay, I don't know how to write or read Polish, but my mouth was trained to make different sounds than just Italian. And then my older brother, I have one brother who is 2 years older, is very into different languages. So actually, even though he studied Latin and Greek and French in school, he was taking private lessons to learn English. So when I was, maybe 11, I was finding some records by Elvis Presley, Conway Twitty in around my house because my brother had connections. And after that, I I was very impressed by American and UK music, So I always had in my ears that language, but of course, the main happening was when I went to America for a scholarship in Texas. That was back in 1965.
Right.
For a whole year, I was in a family, and I was attending. I did graduate in high school in America.
Okay.
So I was left on my own for a whole year, and I had to learn English, even though I had top grade in my school in Italy. When I got to Texas, I couldn't understand a word. So for me, it was
Not easy.
all. But I was very lucky because what we call like my brother, my American brother, in the family there were two boys, and the one my age, we were sharing room, and maybe before falling asleep, I would ask Mike. Mike is his name, and I said, "Well, Mike, what's the meaning of the verb I appreciate?" When you say I appreciate, so he would turn on the light He was sitting cross legs on his bed and said, "Okay, I'll give you a few examples." So I was lucky on that, and music did help a lot
Sure.
because, of course, learning the lyrics, you would learn the language.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's it.
That's amazing because you had the basic languages, so obviously your brain accepts languages,
Right.
and all you've got
Yeah.
to hear once or twice, and it stays in with you.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember my English teacher, a very pretty lady, and she was saying, when I walk into the room, into the classroom, you should say good morning, but not because you are greeting me and not because it means buongiorno. It's just because I walk in.
Ah.
So it's something that should be automatic.
Uh-huh.
I walk in and you say good morning. You don't think, oh, buongiorno, and then translate. So that was
Yeah. Yeah.
quite a hint. Yes.
Okay. And when you left America, you went back to Italy, right? And
Right.
there your music started to come out, and you formed a band. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Well, there were different bands. I was asked to join bands, but I was still studying because in America you have 4 years for high school, while in Italy you have 5. So I had
Uh-huh.
one more year to go,
Oh,
and I didn't have that much freedom. I could go and perform on stage only on Saturday and Sunday, but I had no time to rehearse. So, anyway,
so
so
you were
I
just
started,
winging it.
and I was lucky because of my I could sing in English as versus most Italian bands had some problems doing it. And so that's how it started. Then I went back to America in 1969 for 6 months, but I realized it was very hard to work as a musician in America because of the work permits, and also because I didn't have a driver license. I couldn't drive. So in America, if you don't drive, you die.
You're lost, completely lost. They don't know about lakes. I lived in Los Angeles, and nobody walks there.
Right. If you walk, they'll arrest
They
you.
arrest you. Absolutely. You know it well. So you were in bands in Italy, but you started your own
Right.
band as well. Was that not Aqua Fragile?
Well, my first recording band was
Yeah.
which is still on. It's called Aqua Fragile.
Oh, sorry,
Okay. Aqua
my
Fragile. No,
my
well, Aqua
pronunciation.
Fragile is the Italian pronunciation.
Okay.
And we were very lucky because we got friendly with the PFM. That was number one band in Italy. It was the only band that was touring the UK and the US. And finally, they asked me to join them as a lead singer, which I did.
Right.
And so a new adventure started
I'm
up
going
to
to
when.
stop you
Right,
because I remember I was in England, and if my memory is correct, you were on the Old Grey Whistle test
right. We were
on
very lucky
on
to be
TV in
on that
England, and
show.
I actually saw you there, and I didn't realize that all these years later, because that was mid-70s, I would be interviewing you and having a cup of coffee with
Well,
you. That's
well,
life.
that's life.
Right. So
Right.
you traveled
So,
around, you went America, you went Canada, you went to Japan, you went all over.
right. Right. Yeah, we did quite well, but then the band decided, well, in America, you can make it, but it's very hard. At the time, there were no videos, no, so you had to tour all over, which
Sure.
means maybe 200 or 250 concerts a year. Maybe you could maybe catch 2 or 3 planes in one day, and you should play two concerts a night, one at 8 and one at 11. So, and also you don't make much money at the beginning.
No.
So you are on like you said, on a salary, very small. And other guys had families, to take care of. So they decided to go back to Italy where they could make more money. And so all the work done in America was lost.
Right, right. But you were the first Italian vocalist to be mentioned in the American Rock Encyclopedia. How did that come
Well,
about?
yeah, well, I guess I was lucky, because they were not used to maybe Italians speaking English.
Right.
So, and also we had a very different attitude. We were more into social aspects of life, of music, rather than just fun. So PFM would be different from other bands. We were more cultural and of course, in our small area, then we're not just a band for fun. We wanted people to think about things like we were actually doing.
Yeah, yeah. But not only were you the first Italian in the encyclopedia, you've been first in several things in your life, and you're going to put that down to luck. You were the first Italian chosen to translate the lyrics of Nebraska by Bruce Springfield.
Right. That
Springsteen.
was, yeah, Bruce Springsteen. Well, what happened was that that album was very simple because Bruce did record it at his home, just on a 4-track recorder.
Uh-huh.
So his manager and the record company thought it would be nice to have a rock, um, like a like somebody very well into rock to translate the lyrics into the in the country in different countries. So in Holland they had somebody translated in Dutch.
Right.
In Italy, I was called to do that, and to tell you, I was very honored. They gave me a very small. At the time they were faxing me, fax.
I remember faxes.
And they were very small because it was all very secret. They didn't want things to come out. And I couldn't read because they were so small and so dirty, the lyrics. Not actually the meaning, but the paper.
The paper. No.
And also, it was all very sad. All those songs are very sad. So I remember, crying myself, because there was a song about his father, and at the time I lost my father. So somehow it moved something
It
inside
brought back
of me.
memories to you.
Right.
And,
So,
and there was a lot of feelings in it. But then
it's another thing I did. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And then you've also, to my knowledge, been the first Italian to sing Bob Dylan covers.
Sorry? Oh, yes, right. Well, some Italians did translate in Italian Bob Dylan's, but in my opinion, a terrible job because real quick, Italian words are much longer than English words.
Okay.
And so you can't fit the appropriate translations because there are not enough notes.
Yeah.
So they take liberty, they take freedom to put different notes, and the sound is awful. It comes out. So I said, I'll do a cover, but I'll do it in English. And so I was very pleased to know that I'm the only Italian that say, appearing on the website celebrating Bob Dylan's covers.
Yeah. An amazing man with an amazing life. And you're also very technical as far as your personal approach of working your voice with electronics. And
Well, okay.
you've developed a fine machine, which I think is called Glovox.
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 Okay.
Okay,
Explain to
well,
me about Glovox, and then if you can
okay,
continue telling me about the glove.
okay. Let's say in the 80s, in the late 80s, they invented machines, devices that could detect the content of the vocal, of human voice in order to drive synthesizers. Rather than using your hands, you would use your voice. So instead of doing hitting a note, you would sing. You would sing it. You know, and so it would go. But that way, you should use a microphone.
Correct.
And a microphone, when you're live on stage, picks up all the noises and all the sound from the other guys playing in the band.
Yeah.
So the computer goes crazy because it can detect what's just your voice. So I thought about picking up the vibrations from right where they start. And of course, I couldn't go inside my throat. So if you put two fingers here on your neck and you say "Ciao, Bernardo," you
Ciao,
hear
Bernardo.
you hear
I do.
vibrating your fingers.
Yes.
So I put two contact microphones, and in order when you use a contact microphone, if you touch it, it makes noise. So I put it on a glove. I place it on my throat and open up the switch. And so I'm ready, and only my vibrations go through the machines to process my sound. Everybody else can make noise, but only here will start the thing.
That's incredible. I know that you,
Yeah.
besides an amazing singer, because I have seen you perform, I've heard you perform, and I used to go to Katerina to listen to you, and it was always jam packed. And you would come on, and for half an hour, you were nonstop vibrating, singing. It was sensational. And
Well, thank you.
it was very special for me. But I know that you're also an inventor, a painter, but a
Right.
contemporary painter, an unorthodox in everything that you seem to do. You are unique. You do it
Well, thank you.
Bernardo way.
Okay. Okay. Well, I tell you what. Back in well, that was maybe 10. Oh, I don't remember the year. Maybe it was in 2009. Okay.
Okay.
I did some paintings. My wife, Amneris, who was a fashion designer, took that painting and she made a print for tissue. Okay.
Right.
It's called all over the
Yeah.
print.
Yeah.
So, and after that, she made a collection for women clothes, of women clothes. But also, we did cut the material and made album covers with it.
Oh.
And of course, it depends on where you were cutting the material and what color it was on that print. Every cover is different. So I'll show you this. Okay.
Oh, you got something to show me?
Okay, let me see. Okay, this is
You take the plastic off so we don't have a
okay.
shine.
This is the album cover.
Wow.
This is,
Yeah.
and this is sewn on it. The name is called Eclectica, the album.
Uh-huh.
This is not printed. This is uh, the machines
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the album cover.
Oh,
Okay. And this is the CD.
that's amazing.
Okay.
So the cover is actually fabric.
Right. The
I've
fabric.
ne-
Right.
I've
This is
never
fabric.
I've never seen an album cover
Right.
that is fabric and that
Now, this
virtually
is
is.
a unique. I think this is could be called art music.
For sure.
Because I'll show you another example.
Please.
This was a different color, but about the same album. Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll be. So no two covers are the same.
Right.
So if I went into a store that is absolutely beautiful, the colors of that are magnificent.
You
If
pick up
I
the one
went,
you like better.
this one is warmer tones. But you know what?
Right.
Those tones are very much the color of Amneris's hair, because she has got toned hair colors, which makes her stand out and is elegant as her work is. So
and
the art and the design comes connecting with the music.
and I'll tell you one more thing.
Yes.
When this album came out in Italy,
Yeah.
I contacted some friends of my daughter, a very smart unit promoting music, and I said, okay, what's your fee? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, we agree on that. And I said, I'm only interested. I want some major magazine or newspaper to to say that this is a unique work of art that has never been done before in the world. Okay. Well, it didn't happen. After 5 years, maybe more, my daughter called me and said, my friends came to me and they say they want to give you your money back because they couldn't do what they promised.
Okay.
Because if you are not with a major company, you cannot have exposure on media in the
In those days,
media. But
unfortunately, yes.
yeah, but the truth is that this is a unique work, and
Sure.
I
So
don't
what
think
have you
anybody
done
will.
with it since? What have you
Sorry.
done with that cover and that idea since then? Have you done anything with it? Have you promoted
Well,
it
no,
in?
because it was on the market, But of
Yeah.
course, it didn't happen much because it was not promoted,
Well,
So that.
Bernardo,
But I still have my painting, and Amneris has some of the garments, the lady's clothes
yeah.
of her collection. She's retired from fashion, but still has all her best works, stored in a huge garage.
Wow. I think, that there's the right time for so many things. And although after 5 years they gave back and said, it hasn't happened, timing is, when I started television, one gentleman taught me one thing: timing is all. And you never know, that is not dead. That is an incredible invention. That is an incredible way. And as they are now starting to sell albums, CDs again, who's to say that somebody won't pick this up and run with it as an idea? Because I think it's
Oh,
absolutely fabulous.
well, my first well, let's say my second album with Aqua Fragile
Yeah.
in Italy, we sold 600 copies. Okay, 600,
Okay.
but we bought 30. So actually, we sold 570.
570.
But after almost 40 years, okay, a British label came out with a new release of the album,
No way.
and we sold more, and everybody said, "Oh, how great this music!"
You see, timing is all. Timing is everything. So there is a right time. So
Right.
please, for me, don't squash that.
Well,
I think it's magic.
yeah, in my new album that I'm working on, my new solo album,
Right.
there's one song called "Time Is King."
We're on the same page.
Okay.
Absolutely. And now I want to ask you, what is the difference between music and painting?
Okay. When you
It's an
do
art
music,
form, both.
okay. When you do music, you cannot, you are not alone. It means even if you play all instruments, okay, maybe you are a one-man band, okay,
Right.
but you still need an audience.
Correct.
Otherwise, music is not happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're recording an album, you need a sound engineer. Yeah, you need an artist, an art director to work out your album jacket,
Correct.
the album cover.
Sure.
So you have to work with many people. When you paint, you draw and paint, you are alone with your ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
and so it's a different type of art. Leonardo da Vinci
Yes.
was saying that I translate, okay, music is minor sister to painting, because music every time it has to die,
Oh my goodness me.
because every music starts and then ends.
Right.
While paint, when you do your painting, even though if you place your painting, you know, facing the wall,
It's
the art is there.
it's
But
forever.
music, no, music should start all over and then it will die.
My word.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Please say that in Italian for me.
Yeah, you want to say it in Italian?
I want to hear it in Italian.
Ok. Sorella minore è alla pittura la musica, perché ogni volta deve morire.
Oh, it sounds so wonderful and warm and sexy and lovely. It sounds far better than it does in English, I can tell you that. And besides all that you have done previously and you're doing this album, what are you intending to do in the future? What have you got lined up?
Okay, very funny, because since lockdown started, I
Yeah.
was contacted to do so many things. Of course, working long distance, you know. So I've done music with musicians in New York, in LA, in London, and even in Italy, all around Italy. So I just had they they released some of my old songs from the 80s with the new arrangements, and then I'm working on my new solo album with some famous international musicians.
Okay.
Also, I'm working on a project that has to do with uh, aria of operas,
Wow.
but in a modern way. Okay,
Yeah.
because I have in my voice, I have all the notes that are needed.
Give
But
me,
of
give
course,
me a few notes. Can you?
okay. Ho, 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 oh, oh, ha, ha.
It's the first time I've ever heard that on my screen, and I love it. And thank you. Mwah, mwah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Wow.
And so, but of course, opera singers not only do the notes, not only make the notes, but they also throw the note very far away. You know, they don't have a microphone.
No.
So, in other words, I cannot do that. My voice is powerful, but if you stand 50 feet, you know, I cannot in a outside, open air. I don't
Sure.
think my voice is strong enough.
Right.
On the other way, on my pronunciation is better because I'm using the microphone. So I'm not singing only the vowels, but the consonants as well. So many times when you hear operas, you don't understand the words because all you hear are the vowels. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so that's
Yeah.
one thing.
But
And
you've been
also,
in.
I'm working on a modern opera um, written by an Italian writer about Don Juan. I don't know how to say in English.
Sure.
Don Juan.
Sure.
The most famous is by Mozart, Don Giovanni. Okay, he wrote um, a new version, uh, and his character is a woman, so it's called Donna Giovanna, and she's how do you say bisex? Okay, it's a long story, but I'm working on that too. So a lot to do, and some other projects that I'm not allowed to talk about because
Well, we keep
I don't
fingers
know if
crossed
that
on
will
that.
happen.
But I'm very pleased to hear that a woman has been recreated in a man's opera.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been asked to sing uh, the arias of the opera, even though the character is a woman. Uh, I should sing it in with a male voice,
Uh-huh.
and this is uh, before it has been done. Both well, Shakespeare was using. You're telling me, right?
Yeah.
He was using all male actors, even for
Correct.
female parts, and also in Germany, the theater in Germany, they were using uh, there were men singing women's song, but not trying to pretend to be a woman,
No.
but just because the music was good. So let's see what happens on that side.
Well, it's all fascinating, but finally, I would like to ask you something which is about a rap star, a rap artist.
Okay.
I've been reading, and it's of interest to me about Buster Rhymes.
Okay.
Are you able
Okay.
to talk about that?
This is quite a story.
Okay.
Okay. Busta Rhymes is a hip hop artist,
Correct.
a U.S. hip hop artist, and in one of his first albums called Genesis,
Yeah.
there's one song called Genesis, and what happened? He used the first verse of an Aqua Fragile song that we recorded back in 1974.
Oh.
And he's using the original recording, what do you say, cut and paste, right? So,
Sure.
and
Sure.
he just raps on it.
Okay.
Now, what happened
With
is
your
that
permission?
so it's very complicated because when an artist has an album, does an album, that's not his album.
Correct.
The recording belongs to the record company or to maybe to another company that gives the rights to the distribution company.
Sure. Copyright.
So that Aqua Fragile recording belongs to Sony.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and the publishing belongs to Universal. They're both a major, right,
Yeah,
all over
they're
the
both
world.
American companies.
Yeah, they are. And what happens? Busta Rhymes is a Sony artist, and his publishing company is the same. Is Universal.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to fight. We're gonna take to court everybody involved because the copyright for the writer, because he's using my music and he's using my words.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I don't own the recording, right? The copyright
It's
is
yours.
protected for
Sure.
70 years after, even after the death of the artist.
Correct.
So I hope it will be valid when I'm still alive.
I am sure
I hope it works when I'm still
with your
alive.
luck and with your tenacity, I am sure that as they didn't get permission from you to use it, you have got a strong case and you are going to win. And it's going to
Oh,
be
thank
in
you.
your lifetime. And then we are going to celebrate. Because
Okay.
for you to take on Sony and Universal, I think this is a big story.
Yeah, well, and for the first time, okay, it happens that an Afro-American artist uses the words of an Italian guy.
So again, the Italian is the
This
first.
is funny.
You have had so
This is
many
really
firsts,
funny.
so many firsts in your life. This is incredible. We are just about at the end of our wonderful cup of coffee with each other. I don't know if you're drinking anything, but I've had a sip of my coffee. But if people want to get hold of you, do you have a website? Is there any way that they
Yeah,
can
well, I
find
don't have a
you?
website, but I have a blog. I do
Right.
pronounce it blog.
Yes.
Well, they can check out everything on that blog, and also on Facebook
Right.
if they look for Bernardo Lanzetti, the Vox Impossible,
Okay.
they can reach. And of course on YouTube, there's full of
Yes,
stuff,
full of it.
even black and white.
Wow.
Even in black and white. And also, just lately on YouTube, there's a channel called Ulance with my latest videos.
How do you spell that? I haven't heard of that.
Okay, like you spell YouTube,
Yes. Yeah.
Lanz, Lanz. Or
Oh,
Zen.
I'm going to look at that because it's the first time I've heard of that. So you taught
Okay,
me
well,
something
maybe
new.
I forgot. I forgot to tell you.
Something new that I have discovered in today's. Before we end this, I just want to put out something to my viewers and say, if there is anybody who is watching this program, who has seen the album cover, which is fabric, it is unique, and it is, I think, quite sensational. If there is somebody that wants to run with it to promote it, if I was still a full-time working PR, I would grab it and run with it because I think it is absolutely incredible.
Okay,
So
let me
please
show
hold
again.
it up again so I can see. Lift that. That's absolutely perfect. That's beautiful, beautiful. And now, perfect. And now I want to say to you, Bernardo Lanzetti, thank you so much for being my guest today. And to my viewers, I'm sure that you have learned a lot, as I have. You have enjoyed, and I have never shared or had somebody share their voice without a microphone on screen, it just at the whim. And I say thank you so much. And to my viewers, I say
Well,
thank you. I look
thank
forward
you
to
for
seeing
inviting me. I excuse if my English was not as it used to be, but since the lockdown, it's the first time I speak English with.
No, no, your English is perfect. I didn't even
used to be better.
I didn't even pronounce your first aqua fragile correctly. So come on, just tell me, don't even discuss it.
All right.
So to my viewers, I say thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay safe and look forward to seeing you again with another guest and another cup of coffee. And to you, Bernardo Lanzetti, and to your beautiful wife, take care, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again when you are back here with us. Take care.
Okay. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.